Hi everyone, at the third round of the European Club Cup, we had Arjun Erigaisi, who is playing for the team of Alkaloid, coming out all guns blazing and winning for his team. Now, Arjun was playing against his long-time trainer, Viktor Mikhalevski. He was a player who helped Arjun, I think, reach 2600 ELO. He was working with him right from when Arjun was around 2300. And he has been a big part of his career. So to see Arjun facing off against his trainer was very cool. The game started off with this English Reti setup. Arjun pushed his pawn to d4, gained space. And it was a very normal position. When the knight came to e4, Arjun backed off his knight to a6. He wanted to push his pawn to f5 next and start gaining space in the center. You know, this is how you play. f5, push the knight, bring your knight back to c5. If you can make e5 happen later, would be wonderful. But as it turns out, Viktor Mikhalevski was in creative mood. He went knight h4. And here, Arjun pushed his pawn to g5. This is the thing about Arjun. He's not shy to push his pawns, not shy to make these very, very committal moves. Knight f3 was the best there. But here Mikhalevski thought, oh, why don't I just jump into f5? And so he did it. And after e takes f5, the problem was White had not calculated it through. His next move, he was ready with queen h5. And his point was, if you take fe4, bishop e4, there is a mate on h7. And if you play f6, I go bishop d5 check and win the queen. This is all calculated. But Arjun simply moved his queen to e6. And after knight g5, he had queen g6 there. And if he took in the game with queen g5, queen g6, knight f6, king h8. And the game turned into a one-way battle because Arjun was a piece up. So with this, Arjun won his game, and it proved to be the critical game in the match because it helped his team win the match with a score of 3.5, 2.5. All other boards ended in draws. But more than that, Arjun has also managed to pump up his rating to 2799.6. Isn't that simply amazing? He's now just 4.4 ELO points away, and today he takes on Alexander Predke, if I'm not mistaken, from Typhoon. And if he manages to win this one, he will cross 2800 in the live rating. So that is actually a big news there for Indian chess. Gukesh, who was also moving very rapidly in the direction of 2800, had to break this because he drew his game against Rauf Mamedov. But the way in which Gukesh played just showed that he is in tremendous form. In the Queen's Gambit accepted, the position was roundabout even, but then Gukesh found ways to push his central pawn, e4, e5. He brought his pawn to g3. It all looked a bit loose, but these are the kinds of positions where Gukesh really excels in. There was a pin down there on the d4 piece. It could not move, but somehow there was a bind on the position, and Gukesh was making his moves beautifully. At some point when he had this rook on c6, he was a pawn up. He found this beautiful move, rook takes h6. Because if you take the rook, then the diagonal opens up and the e4 piece is hanging. So this was beautifully calculated by Gukesh. But I think his mistake happened when he moved rook takes a6. If he had played rook g6 with the idea of rook g4, keeping the pin on the knight on e4, he would have gotten a very good position and would have most likely won the game, which would have been spectacular because his opponent was higher rated. He too would have reached somewhere close to 2799. And then today, both Arjun and Gukesh could have reached 2800, but not to be. In the end, the game ended in a draw. But Super Chess won with a score of 5-1. It just goes to show what a dominating team they have. Nodirbek won on board 2. Pragnananda dominated on board 3. In fact, Prag's game wasn't that smooth. He is not really finding his bearings, but it was good news for him that he won his game. He's moved to now 1.5 out of 3. Vidit Gujarati drew his game with Leon Mendonça, but Novibor continues its ascent to the top. They also are on full points. More and more teams are now the good teams are moving upwards. The weaker ones are sort of moving away. and we are seeing this is going to be a great fight between Gukesh, Arjun, and with its team. This will be exciting to see who wins in the coming days. Basically Super Chess, Alkaloid, Novibor, and I'm sure there are some few other teams which will also feature in. In the women's section, both the teams of Divya and Vaishali won. Right now, Divya's team is on full points. They are the leaders in the tournament. Vaishali's team also won. They had dropped half a point before. So this is how the standings look for them. Garuda is basically Divya's team, while Monte Carlo is Vaishali's team. So this is the situation there from the European Club Cup. We are trying to have someone to go over there and cover the event a bit more in detail from tomorrow onwards. So we'll keep you posted. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the recap, and I hope that today Arjun will manage to cross 2800. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.